You're at 109 right now.
Welcome to another edition of the IC 109 podcast. I'm your host, Larry Wiggs, in the studio with my mom. Say hi, Ma.
Hello. Nice touch there.
So, I don't have the other cable as of yet to connect the third mic so Dad can join the conversation.
Uh,
Dad says he won't be joining.
what do you say?
Not tonight.
Okay.
Anywho, tonight is Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I had an idea. Um, we've never done this, but on the way here, I was thinking next year we should buy costumes like Grim Reaper
Mm-hmm.
costumes with the Sith, the scythe.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks very ominous, and you don't have to, and you can have.
What's the purpose? What sort of audience will we have? Or
Well, this year the kids are walking up and down the street.
it's all kids.
Oh, there are quite a few kids out here. Not as many as.
They don't come here. I don't encourage children eating candy.
So
I was raised that way, and that's the way it is.
ah, but dress up as the Grim Reaper or something ominous, something really scary.
And then go scare kids.
No,
What?
you don't even have to scare them. All you have to do is stand on the corner
Oh, and let them,
down the street.
They might just throw something at you, 'cause it's trick or treat. So it might want to trick you,
Well, as I was driving
especially if
home,
you're not getting a treat.
no, no, no. I would say that you would have to have a treat. You'd have to have a bag of treats so that if they are
I have
bold
a
enough,
bag of tissues, containers of tissues.
if they're bold enough, courageous enough to approach,
Hmm.
can you imagine? Hopefully, they would be with their guardians, their parents, and then I can imagine the conversation. I'm not scared. Yes, you are. I'm not gonna approach. Yes, you. No, I'm not gonna do it. You're scared. And then one brave kid will walk up. I'm gonna approach
Mm.
and reward them with something, you know. But to stand out there on the corner or in the street
Stand there.
because it's actually dark. The street is actually pretty dark,
Hmm.
and to see a body,
Uh-huh.
oh my gosh, that would really.
I don't think that's a good idea, because some people would take offense. You standing there, and they might want to engage, and I just nah. Mm-mm. They go down this road away, and then they'll pick up a rock, boom.
Uh,
Yeah, something.
but I saw that on the drive home. I looked at the kids as they were walking with their guardians and whatever, parents and guardians, and then I thought it's not.
I do recall taking you and Kalisha and Barbara and her kids. They came into the neighborhood, and we went trick or treating. And we got to a house, and a woman said, "I bet you don't even live in this area."
Oh wow.
I said, "I do." So after that, we just stayed at the church. Remember the church events?
Hmm. Mm-mm. I don't remember that.
Do you
That's
remember going trick or treating at all? No.
not really.
Right. But we did have a lot of events at the church.
This church down the street.
No.
Oh, at
Normandy,
grandma's. Yes.
the family church.
Don't remember them per se, but what else? This is Halloween 2025. So I was doing Uber. I was driving for Uber from 3 o'clock until 6 p.m.
Hmm.
And then I was making my way back from somewhere in Hollywood. So I picked up a gentleman. The rides went like this. I picked up a gentleman not far from here because I was actually, how did this work out? I think I went to Inglewood. Oh gosh, I went to Inglewood to my apartment, got some things out, came back here, dropped them off. No, no, no. Okay, I forgot the order. Anyhow, I picked up a gentleman who lives not far from here,
Mhm.
and I took him to Venice, the Venice area. Then I got another passenger from Venice, and I had to take him to Hollywood.
Mhm.
So tonight, on Halloween, Uber drivers make more money,
Mhm.
and so tonight is a good night to
Were
drive.
they in costume?
No, there were no costumes. So the first gentleman was dressed up nicely because he said he was going to visit meet his sister, and then the other gentleman was dressed down. He had just finished working. He was going to go meet his buddies to drink and celebrate. Not drink. He said he wasn't going to drink too heavily because tomorrow he has to work.
Mm.
Anywho, so on the second trip was very long because there's a lot of traffic out there,
Right. Yeah.
and so
See a lot of people in costumes.
well, that's what happened as we were making our way through Hancock Park,
Mhm.
where those big homes are.
Mhm.
That was interesting to see because people were walking the streets everywhere, and the kids in costumes. The costumes were hilarious.
Wow.
They were really cute, funny. Just it was amazing.
Mm.
But I've never seen that much activity in Hancock Park.
Mm.
Those are big mansions, and usually no one's in the front, no one. But the people had come out of their homes to hand out treats,
Mm.
and some homes had decorations. So it was actually a really, big community activity.
Mm. That's interesting.
So it's a long drive to get from Santa Monica to Hollywood, where I had to drop him off. And during the process, toward the end of the ride, I asked him, or something came. It came up about art because he works in the film or production. He's building. He's a set designer, kind of
Okay.
a thing. So he's into art, and he was talking about his friends. His friends wanted him to go in that direction rather than them coming to his, neck of the woods.
Mhm.
I told him, yeah, I had a friend like that, James,
Okay.
and he's always, you come my way. I'm like, no, you go over here. No, I'm not. You come over here. I'm like, so I could empathize with him.
Mm.
So anyway, we were talking, and then we talked about art. And at some point, he asked me, am I an artist? And I just said, not really. I've dabbled in art, and I've created art in order to tell my story, because really I have a story.
Mhm.
And I told him my story is about the number 109. So he said, all right, well, I've got a few more minutes on this ride, before I get to my destination. Why don't you tell me about 109? I said, sure. So I tried to keep it as brief as possible, not really, detailed. And I told him, maybe I told him about there being 109 beads on this necklace here. And I told him a little significance about it. But I let him know. I said, strange things have happened. And I would get a ticket on an airplane or something, a seat assignment in row 10 or 9. And he said, yeah, I understand. I know what you mean because, and he told the story about how he boarded a plane and a friend of his whom he had met or had run into internationally was on the same flight that he was on. Like 6 months after they had met or seen each other, they're on the same flight. But and the most bizarre part about it is that they're seated next to each other.
Whoa. That's really something.
And they see each other and they're like, you? And he's like, you? Wait a minute. And then, how did we get seated next to each other?
Whoa.
And then they're just like, this is bizarre.
Karma.
Yeah. And so he understood immediately. Then, as I was telling him, yeah, 109, those are the numbers. That's my story. That's what the art is about, blah, 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 blah. A car pulls in front of me with the license plate number 109.
Wow.
And he was in the car with me, so he observed all of this. His jaw dropped. He's like, "No way." And I'm like, "Oh, look, it's happening again." So I snap a photo of the car, for evidence.
Uh-huh.
But he's like, "Yeah, that was a moment.
Okay.
That was a big moment." And he was just like, "Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't believe that even happened."
Uh,
There I was talking about it, and bam, right there. We both experienced that together. So when he got out of the car, he said, "Man, I have to shake your hand." I'm like, "Hey, man, you know,
life is a trip that
yeah."
we're on. Traveling.
And so that was the a delightful moment. A moment of synchronicity that happened tonight. That was quite interesting and quite yeah, worthy of telling the story.
Your dad and I were going down King, traveling east. We saw a couple. Well, he saw it first, and they were dressed as the was that the Steel Man, the Metal Man,
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man, and then the female. I didn't really see her, but he had on all silver. Like the Wizard of Oz movie.
Oh, the Tin Man.
Tin Man. Uh huh. Yeah. But that's about the extent of it. Other than on the way back, we saw some little kids and their parents, and they had on polka dots. One little girl had on red and white polka dots. So she might have been Minnie Mouse. That's all I can think. But that's about the extent of Halloween. Except for going to the bank today, the guy working there was dressed as a clown, and he said that when people came in, they asked him to take off the headgear because they were afraid of clowns.
Oh, wow.
But his cousin had asked him to come to an event, and she bought the outfit, so he wore it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing people are afraid of clowns, they don't want to be around clowns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he learned something today. Working with the public like that.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So, yep, that was today. So I made a new book. It's called, well, it's still with the title 109, but it's the most recent version. And so I posted that on I guess on TikTok. I advertised it on TikTok as well as on YouTube, I think, and on this podcast, I believe. I don't know. Especially TikTok.
So you already made the book?
I made the book in 2 days,
Oh, okay. How many pages?
somewhere like 100.
Whoa.
But I had started the book maybe 8 months ago,
Oh, okay.
and then I went and traveled and did some other things, and then when I had some time a few weeks ago, I looked at that project again, and I said, "Oh, I need to finish this."
Mm,
So I finished it in 2 days,
that's pretty good.
and and then I ran into an issue.
Right.
I lost the file, and then I had to, from memory, recreate the whole book
Oh. Oh.
in 2 days.
Mm.
So I was trying to render the file, and then it crashed. And even today, I don't have access to one of my external hard drives,
Mm.
which is important because I have a lot of data on that. So I have three external
What
hard
did
drives.
you do with it?
Well,
Lost it?
it malfunctioned
Oh.
while I was trying to create the book.
Mm.
With all my information on it, it crashed.
That's about as bad as years ago when what were those things I used to type on? What they have word processor. Was it a word
Yes,
processor?
yes.
And all of a sudden, the parts weren't available. You couldn't use those anymore.
Hmm.
Remember I was writing books all the time,
I remember that.
and then all my material was caught on there, and you couldn't get it off.
Oh, maybe on
Do
a disc.
anything to it.
Maybe on a disc.
I don't know. The whole thing stopped working. It died.
What was it? A word processor?
I think so. All my material was destroyed.
I remember reading some of your material and finding it interesting.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Are you gonna do it? Write something again?
Um. I have from time to time write something, but I don't do it as consistently as I used to.
Right.
It seemed at one point I came to a point in life that the point of comfort and point of comfort and distress converged, and there's no difference in any of it.
Comfort,
And distress
discomfort. You're uncomfortable.
no comfort
Comfort and
and distress,
distress.
and there's no difference in either one.
No difference between being comfortable and being stressed. Okay, so if you're comfortable, you're still stressed.
Uh-huh.
And if you're stressed, you're comfortable?
And I don't choose to explore it much more than that. I mean, it really was at a point where it's like, wow, this is because I don't know, and I don't know what can I say. I know years ago, in the very beginning, as a kid, I was always saying, "Why am I here? What's going on? What's going? Who am I? What am I?" And then the answer came to me, and it was, "You are," and that was it. Same thing. People used to always say, "That's life." I hated to hear that. That's life. I understand that now, but I didn't when I was a kid. It was like, yeah,
And a kid growing up in North Carolina
I didn't grow up in North Carolina. I lived in Los Angeles all my life.
all your life in Los
Hmm.
Angeles.
Except for going to Little Rock, California for a few years, but always Los Angeles.
But you took a trip or two to North Carolina.
Went to North Carolina.
I remember seeing pictures of you and Uncle Weldon.
Right. I went after my favorite aunt died.
Aunt Bernetta,
Right.
how old were you when she passed?
I was in college.
Oh, but the picture I remember, maybe the
She
pictures were,
died in my second year, beginning of my second year of college.
that's when Auntie Didi died for me.
Oh, your second year of college?
Second year in college.
There are so many. It's like Aunt Bernetta and Dee Dee died on the same day of the month of the year.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. It was the second it was your sophomore year in the beginning.
Wait. The date. I think they say the 26th.
Yeah.
Is what Aunt Bernetta died and Dee Dee died. And those are two pivotal people in the family that really expressed their love for their mothers. Aunt Bernetta took grandmother everywhere and did everything for her. Dee Dee did that for Mama. See what day. Sissy celebrates that date. She did it last month. So I think it's September 26th or
21st.
21st. Okay.
September 21st.
Okay. Then she died on September 21st, and Aunt Bernetta died on the 21st September.
Wow.
Hmm. That was really something to find out.
Right.
Aunt Bernetta would take grandmother, would bring her out to California. We would all go to Disneyland, and man, I had some wonderful times. And then when Dee Dee came along, she was taking Mama everywhere, you know. So
But so if you were in, so what was the age difference between you and Aunt Bernetta?
oh, I don't know. I would have to find out.
Because you were in college.
She wanted me to come and live with her after I graduated, but Grandma Florence said that she was gonna put too much pressure on me. So I was like, ooh, that's not good.
Mm.
Because I had a lot of problems.
Problems
I was still sucking my thumb and pissing in the bed.
as an adult?
Yeah, up until 21.
21.
Yeah.
Wow.
I went and stayed at a friend's house one time, which that was a nightmare. You know, you didn't want to ever go to a friend's house and wet the bed. And her little sister was saying, "Why she wet my bed? What?"
So that reminds me of the story of Robert Gunvir Smith, the actor whose one man show is in Highland Park. He said that Jean Michel Basquiat gifted him a painting, and Jean Michel told him, take the painting and someday use it to buy a home for yourself. He took the painting, he threw it in the back seat of his car. He didn't think anything of it. And he was like, "Come on, man, let's go have a fun, go to a club or something like that." He said that he took the painting and he put it up in his house. He displayed it, and he said that because of Jean Michel's style, which is reminiscent of a child's, he said that his niece saw it and became jealous. Uncle, whose artwork is this? I could do this. Why are you giving this artwork, this artist so much attention? What about my art? That kind of.
Whoa.
So,
What did he do with that painting?
well, he doesn't have it today. He didn't do what Jean-Michel offered him to do with it.
Whoa.
At least there are two of Jean-Michel's friends who basically did the same thing. They received his artwork and they either sold it at very low prices at that time because they needed money,
Mm.
or they just, didn't think that they were going to be worth anything, and that's the end of that.
Wow. They
So,
didn't have any faith.
no, but yep, that's what
I
happened.
would like to see you go back to doing your artwork. Remember, Mr. Anderson used to keep your artwork and not let you bring it home.
Not Mr. Anderson,
What was his name?
Jenkins.
Oh, Mr. Jenkins.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, he said, "Oh, I drew so and so." And I said, "Well, where is it?" Oh, Mr. Jenkins. I was like, "What is that?"
uh, I don't know. The works that I recently did to tell the story of 10-9. um I don't know. I look at them, although they tell the story. I wonder. I really wonder about the sort of the value,
Hmm.
because it looks like it's quite easy. You just paint the canvas, but then I took markers to write words and then just cut out some pictures and paste them on the canvas. That's a simple process.
Hmm.
Although for the number of works, the number of canvases that were complete, that were completed, I needed your help.
Mhm.
So that adds a dynamic to it there. Like to produce that much work, you need to have a team. You need a process. There's a process involved because if I were doing them all by myself, they probably would not have come out that way. That's one thing. But then I have the story behind it, which is hopefully that story encapsulates or really explains the significance of the pieces. It's not just that I threw them together just to say, "Hey, look at this." It's more so this is a piece of the entire puzzle. All of these works together tell the story.
Mhm.
Does the story come to life? Do you know what this is about? And it's a lot. It's yeah, it's an involved thing. Um,
That's why I keep all your artwork I do have in the kitchen.
yep, have that from 22 years ago.
Mhm.
22 years ago, I wasn't I wasn't I was studying finance, business finance, and I was struggling, and I knew that I knew that I believed I had faith in getting my degree. I said I'm going to get the degree,
Mhm.
but my grade point average is going to be so low that I'm not going to be able to brag
Mhm.
on that.
Mhm.
And that's not going to be the achievement that a college degree should be.
Mhm.
Hey, I graduated at the top of my class. Hire me. I can do this work. I know this thing.
Mhm.
No, it's like, do you have the degree, but do you know this thing? And so, um, the diving into art was a way of bolstering my self esteem because I needed uh I needed something to say
Well,
I am smart.
to be creative, it's a process that's a matter of comfort and distress.
Comfort and distress.
Comfort in the sense that in creating, it feeds the soul, and the distress part is you don't know where you're going with it, but you're doing it
And the distress can be, you know,
in the midst of all kinds of other things.
yeah. Basquiat said that they said something about, "Are you frustrated?" And he said, "No, I'm not frustrated." And they said, "Well," um, he said, I think he said something about the art being a result of frustration.
Hmm.
And so when he creates art, he's not he's not thinking about art per se, but he's thinking about life.
Right.
And that's the, I guess, cathartic.
And the creation is
Yeah.
you understanding your life and displaying what you understand and what you can appreciate, what you love or not love, you know. So
Yeah, so there is distress. There is the what's that?
your dried apricots.
Apricots.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the distress of life, of circumstances, situations that inspires us. We're like pieces of coal that are stressed and pressed to create diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
The stress allows for the expression of something. In this case, the expression of our ideals, the expression of our experiences onto a canvas, onto something. And then we have
You
art.
have plants that they use to make medicine, which is really interesting. All the plants. It's so funny when you break it down. Where's my phone? I left my phone downstairs because ginger, um, onions, everything translate to an ailment or to repair an ailment. It takes care of stuff, and that's amazing. Cloves, they said. Let me see. I don't want to say something that I can't remember. Cloves. I can't remember what they said. Cloves make, but it's amazing how powerful they are.
Yeah. Well, we relied upon nature. Nature provided us with everything that
And
we
we
need.
still do. But then they make the artificial stuff to emulate the natural stuff.
And we've lost our knowledge of the natural world because we are relying upon man-made, man-created, synthesized things. That's interesting that Auntie Didi died on the same day.
Hmm.
That's interesting that Auntie Didi died on the same day as
Right. Right. As
Aunt Bernetta,
Mm-hmm.
September 21st.
And they were pivotal people in our family.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how old Aunt Bernetta was. Mm.
But you have her desks.
Right. Uncle Marvin made sure I got her desk. He said she would have wanted me to have that desk.
Hmm.
Well, I kept it. Hmm.
Wow.
Which maybe this year I might get rid of it. Been so many years since 1972. What is it? I graduated 71, 72, 1972 when she died.
I saw the forks. I used a fork in the kitchen that I believe great grandmother
The round handle ones.
yes.
Yeah.
Those are very stylistic, stylized, very well
That was
crafted.
my wedding gift that she gave me.
Mm,
Set of silverware. And over time, so many of them are gone
mm.
compared to what. So you remember that?
No, well, I mean, when I was eating, that's the fork that I reached for. And I looked at it and I noticed it and I said, this is a very well made utensil.
Hmm.
This is a quality good.
Hmm.
So I,
But I had told you about it coming from
yes,
Grandma. Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. I remember that part. And
Hmm.
so when I looked at it, I thought, that's really beautiful that we have these items
Hmm.
that we can look at and say, this is a family
Heirloom.
heirloom, or a family gift, and we can think of those family members.
Hmm.
But especially the fact that it's a quality good
Hmm.
that is still
Because you don't see them.
useful.
You don't see that. I don't see many. I don't see any made like that. Like this wood on the bottom. Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
What do you do at the downtime like this? We don't want to bore the people.
Well, this is a podcast, so I don't really focus on that,
Oh, okay.
and I don't what I'm what I'm not trying to produce something.
Mhm.
I'm more so trying to capture the essence, capture the real experience. So I don't prepare a script. I will not. I might have an idea of what I want to say, and I'll just try to say that. Yeah, but I
Well,
won't.
you might want to condense it to shorter times. I mean, how long do they do podcasts?
I mean, I have episodes that are 2 hours long.
Because, see, I know sometimes I'm listening to them,
Hmm.
I don't finish them. But
Oh,
of
sure.
course, certain things happen and I got to get off and go.
No, absolutely. I mean, how many books have
You've Right.
these days, how many books do we read?
Hmm.
You know, and I've purchased books with the intention of reading them. I've read a chapter or two. I have bookmarks in the books to this day that I picked up 2 years ago. Got a couple of chapters in, never finished it.
Hmm.
But that's why this activity of podcasting like this is so important because it is capturing the moment, capturing the ideals, at that time. Um, because yeah, it's a snapshot into the world. Because if someone were to listen to this 100 years from now, and they'd say, what were they thinking about? What was in their mind? What were
Well,
they?
they'll think about what's the time that they're doing it. Going on 10 to 10 right now.
Hmm.
And
And yep.
past my bedtime.
Okay.
And I know tomorrow's going to be busy. Daddy and I are going to a wedding tomorrow.
Ah.
I think he said for 12. We got to be there early. Yeah, yeah. I've got to do what I have to do in the morning and get all that taken care of. You want to walk in the morning?
Do I want to walk in the morning? I suppose that's fine. I guess I have to
Do it
be up
like 7 o'clock.
7. It would have to be around 7.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Do it for if only 30 minutes. Come back.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get my day started. So much to do in the morning. Okay, that's it. I'm wrapping up.
Okay.
I have the energy to do what I need to do tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, son.
All right. Good night, Ma.
Good night. Did that make noise in there?
I'm sure it did. That made noise. All right. That's another episode of the IC. What's that? Yeah, absolutely. Mom says we should record again every night. I say, yeah. Um, this is another episode of the IC 109 podcast. I'm your host, Larry Wiggs, and you just listened to a conversation between me and my mama. That was the wrong button. I was looking for this one.
You're at 109 right now.
Peace and blessings.